All right, welcome to part 2 of my STO, STS and Densities series off of montauk.com, and I will leave the link in the description below. So where I left off on was, what is a density? So it denotes a certain degree of sentience. Just as biology divides physical life into 6 kingdoms, so can we divide conscious life into at least 7 densities. And why 7? Because that is the minimum number of classifications needed to account for the polarity of physical and non-physical life forms we know about. There may be more, but there are no less. We know that minerals are less sentient than plants, plants less sentient than animals, and average animals less sentient than average humans. So already we see there is a gradient from lower to higher sentience. Experience further shows there exists otherworldly life forms such as ghosts, aliens, demons, and angels who have capabilities we lack. Clearly, the spectrum goes beyond the human sphere. We can therefore extrapolate this spectrum upwards until the ultimate singularity of sentience is reached, which would, by definition, be the infinite creator. Hence, between elementary matter and infinite creator resides a spectrum of life that can be divided into at least 7 primary levels as follows. So it goes back to, the trunk and the branches. So the trunk would be infinite consciousness, and then the branches would be infinite consciousness expressing itself in these various densities. So the first density would start out as, the first density is the lowest, corresponding to subatomic particles, atoms, molecules, chemicals, and minerals, where conscious development is rudimentary and limited to simple awareness at best, because consciousness, free will, and non-determinism go hand in hand, and unpredictable behavior of quantum systems such as atoms and subatomic particles jittering non-deterministically is due to their possessing or being immersed in an infinitesimal but non-zero level of consciousness, a kind of blind primordial awareness. So what it's saying is, even in this first density, there is even the most minute, most smallest level of consciousness, even if these are subatomic particles, atoms, molecules, chemicals, and minerals, they still have a small amount of consciousness, even if it's very, very tiny. And this would be, like the primordial building blocks of, I guess, infinite consciousness itself, I believe. So, second density encompasses plant and animal life, where consciousness first experiences striving, will, passion, drive, pain, or pleasure. Examples of the lowest 2D life forms include plants, bacteria, and fungi, whose consciousness is rudimentary. The higher 2D life forms begin experiencing the first inklings of free will and self-awareness. So third density includes humans and other unpolished beings like us. 3D beings possess the seed of self-awareness and free will. With these, they begin exploring their own individuality and its relation to others, and consequently, they begin choosing whether to hone their individuality by helping others or by exploiting them. This process comes with a myriad of experiences and lessons accumulated over many lifetimes that hammers together their core of individuality and exalts it. As the choice of polarity solidifies and the limitations and illusions of life in 3D are overcome, a threshold is eventually reached, and one has more consciousness and metaphysical energy that can be contained by the 3D realm of experience, and so one transcends to the next level. And also, you look at our planet right now, and there's some of us that are going towards, service to others, and there's still people that are going towards, service to self, and I think there's some of us that are kind of in between that, and apparently there's both, fourth density negative and fourth density positive. So if you actually So basically, the point of third density is basically, do you want to choose to be service to others, polarized towards that direction, or polarized towards service to self, and become fourth density negative or fourth density positive? So fourth density includes beings that have partially transcended the limitations of space-time. They straddle the boundary between physicality and the higher non-physical realms. Both 4D beings and their environments are part physical and part ethereal. For them, physicality is plastic and responsive to thought. Telepathy and supernatural abilities come easily. They exist behind the dimensional curtain and can project into our physical reality at will. Some are positive, others more negative. The spiritual goal of 4D existence is to achieve understanding of consciousness and mastery of mind over matter, to evolve as a cohesive society, and to fully live out one's choice of spiritual polarity with intensifying love and dedication. Fledgling 4D entities and societies tend to lack wisdom and perspective compared to the more seasoned ones. So fifth density is a completely non-physical state of existence. It functions both as a stopover zone, the afterlife for departed 2D, 3D, 4D souls, and as a native realm for 5D beings that have evolved to that density after transcending 4D or 4 density. The natives of 5D seem focused on accumulating the highest wisdom and total perfection of their individuality. This is the first density that is entirely non-physical. So fourth density, I guess you could say, is mastery of unconditional love, or I guess the opposite of it, hate, basically. So I guess fourth density positive would be towards unconditional love. Fourth density negative would be towards, manipulating and basically polarizing towards hating and corrupting other people. And I guess when you master either polarity, and you mix wisdom with that polarity, you get fifth density, right? So sixth density is also completely non-physical or ethereal, occupied by individual entities who have attained perfection as far as personal evolution is concerned, who then join the other perfected individuals to evolve together as a soul group unit, or a social memory complex like Ra or the Cassiopeans. They exist as energy beings in a realm completely outside space-time. They are outside the matrix, so to speak. So again, what I've mentioned before is that apparently when you're sixth density, basically when you balance love and wisdom together and you get to a point where your love and wisdom is so balanced out, you as a civilization or as a group of people, or whatever, when a group of people or a civilization have mastered love and wisdom, they form a sixth density being or a social memory complex. So basically a collection of souls formed together, forming one entity. And then seventh density is unity with the Creator and the total dissolution of individual existence, though not through annihilation of consciousness, but achievement of infinite expansion of consciousness, and that permeates all life and all existence. There are no sharp boundaries between the densities. They blend relatively smoothly like the 7 colors of the light spectrum. Thus we have animals like bonobos or dolphins who might as well be 3D beings, human occult masters who have understanding and abilities that rival those of aliens, and aliens of such divinity and non-physicality that they might as well be considered angelic light beings. So anyways, yeah, that's really, like I said, this is very fundamental to this packet. It breaks down all the different densities, and because you notice, you go from, the lowest consciousness possible, these subatomic particles, and then you reach back to everything that is infinite consciousness. So once you get the 7th density, you are unified with the Creator, and basically you just basically you're basically one with, I guess, everything in existence, and so again, first density, the smallest amount of consciousness would be subatomic particles, and then seventh density, unity with the Creator. Basically, you are basically consciously aware of all that is, all of existence, from the past, present, future. Basically, you're one with everything and anything. And then there's the expression of everything in between. So there's this gradual evolution from first density to second density, the third density, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh, and then you go back to the unity with the Creator. And the way I look at it is that I think the universe is got really bored with itself, and let's say that the universe started out as 70 or seventh density, and it's like, it would be great if I didn't have this ultimate awareness of everything that is, and I'm going to actually start creating all these other different densities to express myself in infinite ways possible, and use this system of souls to have these individual incarnations that have all these different unique experiences, being different people, being different species, animals, different planets, and and all these, this variety of expression, these different experiences, and these different densities, especially third density and beyond, had this ability to co-create within this infinite consciousness, and basically express themselves through these various densities. And once you move up to these densities, the easier and more fluid co-creation becomes. So anyways, I'm going to stop here, and this is part 3, and in part 4, I'm going to talk about what are STO and STS. So, and as always, remember to explore the inner universe that is yourself. Thank you.